hold on. Here we go. Left a bit. No, left a bit. Yeah, that's it. On the table. Get it. Oh. Okay, hold on. Just pull it to the right. There we go. Push, push, push. There we go. Oh.
This is another Airsoft mic production.
Woohoo! It's a big one today, I'm telling you. Look, wait, let me just pan out a bit. Look how big this thing is. Bigger than the table. Anyway, let's do this.
Yeah? We got a situation. Oh, shit. No, we got another situation. RPG 12 o'clock, incoming!
The Barret MRAD multi-role adaptive design is a sniper rifle based on the Barret M98B. The U.S. military MRAD is designated as Mark 22 and issued in 3 calibers: .338 Norma Magnum, .300 Norma Magnum, and 7.62 by 51 mm NATO. This officially licensed Airsoft version is issued in 1 caliber. The only one that matters on this channel, 6 millimeters. Let's go.
Okay, so far I'm quite impressed with the packaging. And right here, an instruction manual. Hold on, 6 millimeter Pro Shot Operator's Manual, yeah. So there's a cheeky little hole there, I can see that, for the bolt handle. Hang on. It's as if it aimed for that hole, but it just quite didn't get there. Anyway, the reveal. That's a thick piece of foam on the top. Very nice packaging, I've got to say. Would ya look at that beast? So the first thing I'm seeing here is a nice little official card. So yeah, this is officially licensed. Nice. I love it when something is officially licensed by the actual firearms manufacturer, just for Airsoft. Decent. And on the back, a QR code. So, looks like you're getting quite a lot here. So let's start from this area. You are getting what looks like quite a small bipod, but obviously that will extend. Nice. Hopefully this is a nice strong one. And a complimentary bag of BBs. An adapter, depending on what battery you have. Nice, you've got a nice little QD there for your sling. And another one. Nice. Now, as you may already know, I already have 2 Barretts, but this one is totally different to them 2 bad boys. Main reason being, this one is full auto. So we have a massive PEC box. Wow. So that must be for the battery, but this is huge. I know this is to power the Barret itself, but I wonder if it's completely dummy. We'll find out if any of this actually works on it. Oh no, you can tell there's literally nothing there. They're holes. And then we have this epic looking 280 round mag. Now, I was going to get the bad boy out with its mag, but then I just spotted something else hiding away there. Nice. Some sort of rail piece. Oh yes, this will be so you can attach your bipod. So first thing I want to do is put this piece that I showed you earlier for the bipod right on there. Now, I was thinking of putting that a bit further forward so it's right there neatly at the front, but I've just seen a QD sling point, so you want to give that a bit of room. Now, if you're not familiar with this type of bipod, it's a Harris style bipod. So the first thing you would have to do is take off that nut. Now, I'm not going to make this a tutorial on how to install a Harris bipod, but essentially, once you have removed that nut and washer that I just showed you, you're presented with this. You then need to keep unscrewing that section until you get to this point, because ultimately you want to remove this, the whole thing in the center. And you don't need any tools, you just need to have a bit of willpower. And Who's your uncle?
Bob.
Bob. Hold on, wait a minute. I've made an executive decision. I've moved that back a bit more and centralized it because, you know, once you get this bad boy on, you can see, yeah, exactly. So that's there now, and all you need to do is get those two prongs into that hole. Nice. And make sure you are holding and pinching these there to achieve that. And then bring this one back home and just give it a little encouragement to secure it, but don't overdo it. Right, hold on, let me just make sure that the QD sling point, if I was to have one there, the actual attachment, make sure it's got enough clearance. Yep, decent. But you know what? I don't want one there. I'm not going to have it in that setup. So just before I deploy the bipod, I just want to show you underneath this bad boy. So as you would have spotted earlier, there's your Tamiya plug, and if I just turn it, you can just there see the fuse. And looking inside what is a huge, massive crater of a magwell, you can see where the BBs are fed and your hop-up adjustment. Nice. And then as we move along, because this bad boy, unlike the real version, is capable of full auto and is effectively, definitely an AEG, that's where your motor is, and that's where you adjust the height of said motor. So I might as well keep it at this angle to show you at the very rear, just in front of that butt pad, you've got another little rail section. That is polymer. Unlike the other main lower rail, that bad boy is metal. So, the PEC box. It is literally just a shell, and what you do to get inside the shell, you take this top off, and it is literally designed to take these nunchuck type batteries. But we don't want no standard batteries in there, we want a LiPo. So I've got here a 7.4 volt LiPo. And as you can see, it is designed so that your cables can be thread through. Not from the top as I have seen some people do, but from there. Nice.
Bob.
Now, before I put it on, and before I get to the other side to put it on, let me show you this side. Do you know, I'm amazed that I still get this excited over a new unboxing. With all the unboxings I've done in the past, I'm just addicted to buying Airsoft and showing them to you. But anyway, as you can see, you've got an adjustable cheek rest, so if you want it up there, you just tighten it up. Nice. Here's the cool thing though. As big as this is, you can make it a little bit shorter, because if you look carefully just there, this stock can fold. Nice. Just to make it a little bit shorter, but only a little bit. But anyway, that's the back end of the button for that. We'll get back to that when we get to the other side. But right there, as you can see, you are blessed with a number of QD sling points. There's one there, and there's one there. Oh, and by the way, you know how I was talking about how long the Barret is, and at least you can fold the stock just to make it a little bit shorter if you need to? Well, guess what? The complete opposite can also happen, because right there is a button, and unbelievably, this bad boy extends even further. Wow. Just wow. Because you need the Barret to be longer, don't you? I mean, look at that. I've even have to show the untidy edges of the screen just to fit the entire thing in. Now, I can do it at an angle, but hold on. With it extended, that is a whopping just under 52 inches. Good grief. Which is what, 132 centimeters? Flipping heck. I mean, you need the Barret to be able to extend further because, you know, it's only a small little pocket-sized platform. Now, what with it being an officially licensed product, I absolutely love the markings on this. Now, I've had to put a light beneath just so you can catch this because it is very subtle. It literally shows you that it says Barret Firearms and a lot more information there to do with the real steel. And then, of course, right there, you've got MRAD. multi-role adaptive design. So, unlike its real steel counterpart, this bad boy has safe, semi-auto, and it's almost as if it's hidden. It's a secret, because even though there's no marking there, you flick that all the way round and we are in full auto, baby. Imagine that. A weapon of this size in full auto. Ha! Airsoft! I love it. So, right there you have your mag release, and there she is. Look at the size of her. Huge! So it's a high cap, so you do have a wheel on the base. And I am loving how the mag matches the design of the mag well. Let's complete that picture. Okay, it's a fairly firm fit. Nice. Do you know what I love about this? Well, actually, there's a number of things I love about this Barret, but the entire upper is metal. I wasn't expecting that. I don't know why I thought it was fully polymer, but this, all metal. The top rail, metal. Your side rails, metal. Nice. And then we get to this epic looking fluted barrel and muzzle brake. So here we are on the other side of this epic beast. Now in the real world, it is a bolt action platform. Nice. And you know what I love about this? Even though it's a mock bolt, they allow the bolt handle on this bad boy to do the full travel. I love that, because quite often you get airsoft platforms that will only open to about there, just enough so that you can gain access to your hop-up adjustment, but not with this bad boy. This is giving you the full complement of travel. Nice. Decent. Right, so your cheeky little fake pet box will go right there. Now if you do this correctly, all of that should be pretty invisible. There she is. Gorgeous. Although I will say this, a bit careless with the adhesive, I think, because that doesn't come off, so that must be some sort of adhesive. Anyway, it's a cheap little pet box, and from a distance, it looks epic. Do you know what fascinates me about airsoft, and it has always fascinated me, is that you can have the tiniest of airsoft platforms and the largest, or at least one of the largest of airsoft platforms, and yet they both have one little thing in common. That 6mm BB. Right, so let's just make sure it works. Very subtle click. I wish it was a bit more firmer and louder, but anyway. Ooh. Bosh. Nice scope. Bosh. Nice cam. Right, let's make sure it works. Oh, yes. Big old clunk. And there's no finesse or daintiness about this. You need a proper grip of that trigger and yank it back, baby. Because none of this trying to feather it or anything like that. No. Bang, bosh, Bob's your uncle. Bob. Right, hold on. I don't expect a high rate of fire. Come on, it's supposed to be a bolt action, but anyway. Woohoo! That's good enough for me. Oh, and by the way, just in case you're wondering why there isn't a monopod beneath there, well, there are two different variants that I have seen so far of this bad boy. One where it has the monopod, but the stock does not fold. So if I take you back to this side, remember the other side of the button I was talking about earlier? Well, here it is right here. Press it in. Fold your stock. Nice. And remember earlier when I said if you do the cabling correctly and everything, it will be invisible. Look, you would never tell there was a battery connected. Decent again. Now, another thing I love about this Barret is that when it's on safe, the trigger is physically locked. Take it off safe. I know you don't have to do that. Leave me alone, it's fun. You can fire. But again, you don't need to move the bolt.
Airsoft Mike! Let the pellets fly! Airsoft Mike!
I reckon when you rock up to gameplay with one of these bad boys, you've got to let other people know it's okay. It still only takes little 6mm BBs. One thing I've got to say though, I think I'm going to put a better bipod on this. I've got a much better one, a third-party one. Yeah, I'm going to put that on there. And by the way, you see these rail pieces that you've got all over this? Like on the sides anyway, not the top one. That will stay where it is. But on these side ones, you can see that you can move them to different positions. Whatever takes your fancy. Nice. Right, let's chrono this bad boy. Man, this is long. No, I'm not going to run that joke again. Oh, go on then.
That's what she said.
Oh, so childish, I know. Oh, that is respectable because it's actually an AEG. I thought I was going to get AEG numbers like 330 or something, but no. Decent. Now, I know, but remember, and especially if you don't watch all of my videos, you might not know this, but I am moving this year, so I'm going to be getting a bigger studio, an outdoor range, hopefully that will be sorted as well, but if not, I'll have a much bigger indoor range where you will actually see me firing the airsoft weapon towards the target, but for now, I'm just going to do my usual basics. Haha, I see you. Now, because essentially it's an AEG, I treated it as an AEG, a massive long one, so I didn't have it on its bipod. I was holding it in my hands, okay, and I was still able to get that sort of results, and more than one hit that bullseye nicely.
Perfect. Perfect.
I like it a lot, and when I do move, I will set it up on a much better bipod, have it set down so it's stable, and I could probably guarantee you everything is going to hit within that bullseye, because this was me holding it and I was swaying the thing. It's so heavy. Well, it's not too heavy, but you know what I'm saying. So there you go, people. This is the awesome Barret M98B MRAD electric sniper rifle by Snowwolf. It's awesome. It's not my only Barret, as I said before, but I think it just might be my favourite.